No, I would say human beings in general throughout evolutionary history have not done social media. We've only done social media since what, 2005, 2006? I mean, technically, I guess you could sort of like lump forums in there. We have had this is an experiment. So that's ludicrous to say, oh, well, it must be men because they're men have to be yeah, they do. Absolutely, they do. Because back in The Rational Male, in the chapter called Buffers, I said exactly this. Don't use texting. Don't use social media as a buffer against learning game and having the social skills to carry on a conversation. Because once you get into that conversation and it falls apart, you're going to be facing rejection, more or less. That's what guys do. There's an over-reliance on digital media, on texting, it used to be texting. Now it's Instagram, right? There's an over-reliance on the buffer of social media, social media. Congratulations. We've upgraded it. We've upped our game since I wrote that. Well, actually, that was from a post. So I would say it's 2007, 2008. Congratulations. You got one. Yeah, because human beings, when there was a local sexual marketplace, like when Grandpa Rolo was around, he used to have to go to the clubs in Hollywood and get out there and go fish where the fucking fish are. He used to have to go out there and do it and learn that shit. Learn what worked and what didn't. Game. Wow. I know it's shocking. Everyone has game. I had game back then. The 9-year-old kid right now probably has some idea of how to, get a girl to like Johnny. Shocking, I know, but it usually takes face-to-face interaction. It's not just a man thing or a woman thing. In fact, women today would probably love it if you would just like initiate something live. You did a cold approach. Oh my God, it's a shock to the system because it happens so rarely.
Are visual creatures, and being in direct contact with somebody in the sense of being a visual creature, and that isn't to say that men are pervs or anything, but that it's very important for them to be in direct, in-face and in-person contact with individual people in order to actually comprehend their existence, in order to actually formulate an understanding of that individual's personhood. This
is shocking. Wow, basic humanity 101.
Is not in any way conducive to what we see on dating apps, in which dating apps create this easy way out of men actually being face-to-face with human beings who...
No, it's an easy way out for women to ghost you. That's what it is. Because the number one dating app, my dear, in case you don't know this, is actually Instagram. It's not Tinder. It's not Hinge, not Bumble, not Seek, not SA. None of that. The number one dating app, Instagram, because that's where people go to check out if you're cool enough to hang out with, or fuck you, this guy's lame. He's corny. How do I find that out? Well, or, this person wants I'm interviewing for a job. What's the first thing your potential employer does once you walk out that door after the interview? Goes and checks you out on Facebook and Instagram, Twitter, whatever your creeps around on your socials. Yeah, there's a lot. You can be found. That's no problem. It's not about Tinder. It's not about just the dating app, although that is the way that we, primarily that's how people meet. But how people sort of like get together and feel like how women decide whether or not you're cool enough to hang out with. God, I'm glad people like my Instagram somewhat, Oh, is he cool enough to be on? It's all brand management. That's what it comes down to. It's perception. And that perception is like, yeah, there are guys who don't have any social skills. Yes, 100. Okay, you got one. Yes, you're right. But that's the way we do it now. For better or worse, it's all perception. It's all bullshit. It's all smoke and mirrors. Got to have a thing. Are you cool enough? Are you on a yacht party? Are you on a Lamborghini? Are you on a tractor in the Midwest?
In in the majority of cases are going to reject them outright, or aren't going to want to be their friend, aren't going to want to be their sexual partner. And I think because of this, it has sort of become a self-fulfilling prophecy in and of itself. And I think that pornography plays the same kind of role, in which it is a material product in and of itself, like in essence dating apps are. It's an easy way out of confronting life.
No, it's an escapism, and it's a sedation is what it is. And that's what, well, at least my neck of the manosphere has been saying for a while. Again, I'm not like necessarily against porn. I'm against porn in the sense that it's a sedation. I'm against alcohol and the same thing. Please go buy my booze. You know, I'm not against alcohol whatsoever, but I do recognize it as a sedation. World of Warcraft, that's a sedation. Whatever your escape is that you're hooked on and you're addicted to, that's whatever makes you forget about your shitty life. And when your escape becomes a better life to live than your shitty life, that's when problems happen. Yes, you're correct. Pornography is a problem. Absolutely. And we've industrialized it and we've made it more easy access. That's why it's free. That's why it's streaming. That's why it's ubiquitous. And you know what? It also confirms what I said earlier. Unlimited access to unlimited sexuality. Maybe those crazy manosphere guys actually have a point. Maybe they figured something fucking out. Oh, what about, emotional connection and long-term relationships and blah, 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 blah. Just say they focus on sex. But then you're going to also talk about how pornography is a problem essentially because of men's nature.
It is an easy way out which capitalizes on men, but rarely
pornography doesn't get a headache. How's that?
Really, well and truly disadvantages them more than it does women. It is something that I do see when you consider different data sets and different findings, and you sort of put them together in order to try and make a comprehensible story, sort of trying to make a quilt out of things. On the one hand, men need to be in person in order for real, genuine connections to.
Wow. Kind of like, I don't know, the conversation I just had with James Tusk and Troy Francis, those PUAs. Go do a YAD stop. Meet women real time, face to face. Oh, kind of like what Rollo Tomasi's been saying since 2013 about buffers and how any time you are like interacting with a woman online or whatever, it should be used to get to the point where you're meeting them face to face. Kind of like that. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Stop acting like you do.
Be made. But secondly, they are over-reliant and are encouraged to be over-reliant on social media, on dating apps, on pornographic content.
Do you honestly think that, hell, have you even heard of NoFap? For fuck's sake, man. No, that is not promoted. Hey guys, come here. I really think you should jerk off a little bit more. Yeah. That'd be great, man. Give me money. Here, buy my course and learn how to jerk off more. Where's that program? Buy my Gumroad course. How to yank it in 4 or 5 different ways. That doesn't exist, dude. That doesn't exist, girl. It's never existed and it won't exist. Hell, if anything, the opposite exists. Wait till November rolls around and we get NoFap November. Oh, I can't wait to do my annual NoFap November episode with Ryan so we can talk about the woo-woo magic that goes along with that. But there's a whole subsector of the manosphere that just says, stop snapping your radish. Sorry, old term. But yeah, I mean, where are you getting this? You don't know what you're talking about. No one in the manosphere is promoting that. No one in the manosphere is saying jerk off more. No one in the if anything, the male self-improvement arena is saying exactly the opposite.
On pornography and these seeming quick fixes to issues which actually don't fix the issue or don't address the issue in a meaningful and healthy way for them.
Meaningful. Define, please. Tell me what I should do. Tell me how show me how to live, kidology. Tell me what's the right way.
And I think the manosphere capitalizes off of this because, as I said, it is at the end of the day about making money or about finding meaning for the particular men at the helm of these particular podcasts or these particular websites and forums. It isn't actually about helping the average man to realize himself and to be...
Wait, particular podcast, particular what?
Say my name.
Oh.
The best man that he can or may want to be. So that's my little tangent about our modern dating landscape, whose primary customer and consumer is men. Yet at the same time, it is the one forum and the one form of interaction that is completely antithetical to the needs and the well-being of men. And I think that is quite tragic. I think we can see just by the fact that women predominantly are not on dating apps, that it is clearly not a healthy, not a productive, and not a well-rounded and good place for any human being to be on.
Clearly she's reading this from a script. Let me explain something to you from Josh Bernoff's book called Writing Without Bullshit. Don't waste the reader's time. You're wasting my time. You're wasting your viewers' time by rambling off this shit. You've already made your point. Get on with it.
Anything, because it is so algorithmic and so strategic